Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Trying to tell me it's 6 o'clock in Duval on a Friday night. I am feeling an enormous amount of electricity right here, right now. Oh, to be a fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To take it with you into the weekend, running, ripping, relaxing, watching Arnold Palmer's tournament, getting ready for the weekend, and then next week, which without any question is going to be the greatest non-football week that we have seen around here in quite some time. The players made their announcement a little bit earlier today, 8 returning champions. I think they said 25 first-timers. I'll go through that a little bit later on the program, but we'll do a lot of golf next week. It's also, of course, legal tampering, and that begins on Monday. I'm one of those who you'll never hear me say I can't wait for. Okay, because I like to live in the moment, and unfortunately living in the moment and maybe exceeding it at the moment has cost me, particularly with such things as hangovers, right? The extra drink, the extra shot, the extra whatever, then you regret it the next day. Nonetheless, I just love everything that I do have planned, right? Tonight, an opportunity to speak with you. What else could I ask for? Tomorrow morning, golf. Tomorrow afternoon, the beach. Sunday, let's do it all over again. Then you come back in here on Monday with the anticipation of what is this brass going to do? What is this organization going to do? $60+ million. Will they make a splash? Or will it be boring? Will they add a third or fourth edge? Will they add a competitor on the interior offensive line? I think they're going to add a starting safety. That is, if I had to guess where they'll overpay, it's not at guard. It's not at center. It's not at wide receiver. It's not at defensive tackle. It's not at cornerback. It's at safety. Now, again, this is my prediction. All right, I could be dead wrong, and that's going to be, for the most part, what we're really going to hammer here tonight. I'm going to ask you straight up, what is your free agent priority? What do you want in place by Monday night? And that's what's so amazing about this weekend for you people here in Jacksonville is that 4-13 is so far in the rear view. It's amazing. And it's now all about what's next. After yesterday's just shedding, saying goodbye to 6 football players, I'm still very surprised by the retirement of Mitch Morse. I'm very surprised that they traded Christian Kirk to a divisional rival in Houston. And I'm very surprised that they cut Evan Ingram, although some said he did not fit into the Liam Cohen offense. I just never thought that they would cut both Kirk and Ingram. So yesterday came as a massive surprise. You got to believe that that's going to continue on Monday. So we have a lot to do with that over the next couple of hours. And again, I'm really looking forward to getting with you on that. Hey, you just heard me with Frank and Hayes, with Brad Marchand being moved to the Florida Panthers right before the trade deadline a little bit earlier today. This one hurts. The older I get, I don't get emotionally wrapped up in individual players anymore. If you listen to me consistently, I do thank you, but you realize that I'm always about the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey, right? Because these players, they come and go. The coaches, they come and go. It really is, and I hate it for kids. I hate it for the youngsters. When you grow up, sports are supposed to be your heroes. Players are supposed to be your heroes. When I grew up, Jim Rice was my hero. Bobby Orr was my hero. Right? When Bobby Orr went to the Blackhawks, man, I was in stitches. When they traded Phil Esposito to the Rangers and the Brad Park trade, I was completely out of it. When Haywood Sullivan couldn't get the contract long before the days of faxes, it was delayed in the mail, and Carlton Fisk said, screw that, and he went ahead and signed with the Chicago White Sox, I was broken. Clemens leaving Boston, Wade Boggs leaving Boston, going to New York, okay? And I found myself hating Boggs. I found myself hating Clemens. Obviously, I've gotten soft over the years, but Marchand was like the only one left in Boston. There's not a Red Sox that I look at right now, and I'm like, a little bit with Tatum in the NBA, a tiny bit, right? And there's not a Patriot, obviously, but Marchand was the remaining guy at the age of 37. 422 goals, 554 assists, 974 points. He is a Hall of Famer, but he also picks up his game during the playoffs. This is a massive get for the Florida Panthers. But here I am, disappointed, but I'm not hating it. I'm not hating him. I'm not rooting against him. I remember I was in Chicago. Ray Bourque spent, 19, 20 years in Boston, and they moved him to Colorado right at the trade deadline, and Bourque went out and won a Stanley Cup with the Colorado Avalanche, and he brought the freaking trophy with him back to Boston. And I remember being appalled. I remember just being grossed out. And I saw Ray Bourque years later. It was over at Queens Harbor. It was a golf tournament. I was doing something with Ron Duguay, who lived here in town for quite some time. And I got an opportunity to spend a couple of minutes with Ray Bourque, and I talked to him about just that. I was like, man, you were like the second coming of Bobby Orr. I adored you as a player, but you just packed up and left, and you signed off on a trade to go win a cup elsewhere. And I thought it was cheap, and I thought it was awful. For some reason, I don't feel that way about Brad Marchand. But I want to begin the show tonight by offering you that opportunity. What player was moved right in front of your eyes where you just could not get over it, right? And that'll be interesting around here because the Jaguars have only been around for 30 years. And have the Jaguars really traded someone that you massively regret, or they allowed someone to go away in free agency that all of a sudden turned into, a consistent Pro Bowl? Or maybe it's Calais Campbell. I don't know. Maybe it's Jalen Ramsey, although I gather most of you are still down on Jalen Ramsey. But if not, you would probably have to go to another sport. Maybe you go down the road as an Atlanta Braves fan. Maybe you go down the road as a Florida Marlins, now Miami Marlins fan. And, of course, listening, everyone wants to move here to Jacksonville. There are so many from other parts of the country who now call Duval home. You may have grown up in a city and in a place where a guy was moved, a guy was traded, or a guy was not re-signed in free agency. And it absolutely ruined your day. And that's what sports used to mean to me about individual players. That's my point. There's not anyone now where if they were moved, I'd be that upset about outside of what happened today with Brad Marchand. I'm sure some of you yesterday were hurt about Christian Kirk. I'm sure some of you yesterday were hurt about Evan Ingram. I think you got over Mitch Morris, probably on one sleep. I don't think anyone got too upset about Ronald Darby or Devin Duvernay or Josh Reynolds. But I'm sure the Kirk and Ingram thing definitely did fit in for quite a few of you. So let's begin with that tonight and, have a little bit of fun with this at 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime and Coach. Do you have one off the top of your head, Dylan? A guy that was let go from a team that you love, that you had a difficult time getting through?
Not really. The only one I can remember, this is way off of what you were talking about, Dale Earnhardt Jr. when he left DEI and went to Rick Hendrick. I remember everybody losing their mind as if why would you leave your father's company and join one of the best teams in sports? That's the only one I can remember because I wasn't really big of a sports fan in the pros. I was more college football. I was more with the Gators.
Yep.
And obviously I was pre-transfer portal and all that. So.
Yeah, it's not going to apply in college unless maybe you bring up Brock Berlin.
Yeah.
or Vanez Gooch, right? I mean, nowadays it's all over the place, and again, that's a separate conversation for a separate. So when he left DEI, was Waltrip still a part of it, or?
No, it was Martin Truex. I'm trying to remember who else was on that team. It was him, because it was the 8 car, the 1 car.
Okay.
And there was someone else, but he joined forces, and then he joined Jeff Gordon, who was obviously had a big rivalry with Earnhardt, and Jimmy Johnson was dominating, and it was a major deal as he left, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
641-1010 on the text line. Share with us a player that was moved that broke your heart, and I know grown men don't want to admit that. And I think most of you that are a little bit longer in the tooth will agree that it's nothing today like it was when we grew up. But still, this is the only one, Marchand. I mean, the Red Sox could trade Rafael Devers, and I'd be okay with it. The New England Patriots could trade whoever, all right, and I would be all right with it. The Jaguars, there's not a player on that team, okay, outside of Lawrence, because I still believe that the best football is had. I mean, my 8-point plan for the offseason includes, should they trade Devin Lloyd? Should they trade Travis Etienne? I'm not trading Etienne. I think he's going to fit well into Liam Cohen's offense. But if we find out tonight or tomorrow or next week that they move him, I mean, I'm okay with it. If they decide to trade Devin Lloyd, I'm okay with it. It's just, to me, it's about the team now. It's about the front of the jersey, and it's not about the back. But I do feel sad for the kids of America. I do. They cannot embrace what it's like to follow a career from day one all the way through. I mean, outside of Brad Meester, when's the last time we've seen something like it? Just does not happen. And I think that's sad, but the games have changed, and they will continue to change. All right, more free agents available since we have last talked. It includes Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle, a guy who's had a very good 8-year career in Washington. Moments ago, Andre James was let go, the starting center for the Las Vegas Raiders. To me, that is a talking point that is absolutely enormous, because history would say, with Trevor Lawrence getting ready for his 5th year, and now this contract coming into play, you do not want to have a rookie center, right? That's just kind of gospel. Yet, as we talked about a night ago, Liam Cohen, offensive coordinator last year in Tampa Bay, had a rookie center in Graham Barton. Now, he was a first-round pick. He was a late first-round pick, and he certainly, did do well. I happen to be one of those who believes, you can't do that. So it's one of two things. Is it Fortner? And for crying out loud, I just want to end that by saying no. As a matter of fact, if it came down that Luke Fortner was cut and they would have saved $3.7 million, that would not be a surprise. Now, there is a relationship with Cohen and him in their days back in Kentucky. Has he gotten stronger in a year? We'll see. It's just the importance of this position is absolutely incredible. It is enormous. So I think you have to make a run here at a veteran. And unlike guard, which is plentiful, albeit 3 possibilities have already been wrapped up, right? If you look at the trades that did happen with Jonah Jackson, and, he did not have a good year with the Rams. And obviously, as we discussed, James Gladstone had to look at that, analyze that, consider that, but he elected not to make a trade. To me, that spoke volumes that he was not the guy. You can look at, what is happening as well with Alex Kappa, who was just moved. Okay, I thought he had a bad year, or everything that I read, it was a bad season for him in Cincinnati. But the guard position, there still are bodies. Center position, that's not the case. Will this team overspend for the likes of Drew Dahlman? Will they overspend for Josh Myers out of Green Bay? Or are they going to try to get it done simply by attacking the NFL draft? I do not know, but we're going to dive into that tonight. I'm going to tell you what I think this football team is going to do beginning Monday. But I will ask you in the meantime, what is your free agent priority? And let's keep it simple. Give me one. Give me one. You can just throw me a position, or you could throw me a guy. Okay? I'm not asking for 3 or 4 tonight. I'm asking for one. Okay? And make it your priority. As I said, I think they're going to overspend for a safety. That is not my priority. That's number 5 on my list. Wide receiver, interior offensive line, defensive tackle, cornerback, and safety. And by the way, while you're at it, they need a backup edge. This team only had 34 sacks last year. They have no backup edge at all. And all of a sudden you need a tight end, right? Brenton Strange is certainly going to get a great opportunity, but Luke Farrell's a free agent. You need a tight end. I mean, this football team has a ton of needs. So what is your main free agent priority? All right, best way to join us. Get us on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You can go to YouTube. Just go to 1010XL into the night, and as well on Twitter, you can go to 1010XL. Opening comments are brought to you each and every night by the good friends over at Shmunez Vision. Listen, there are wants and there are needs when it comes to your eyes. A want would be laser eye surgery, right? Never having to worry about your contacts ever again. Never have to worry about looking for your readers once again. A need would be far more significant. Refractive surgery, cataract surgery. You want to go to the best, and that is Shmunez. With well over 30 years worth of experience, the folks that you talk with, the folks that will examine you, will also be the same ones who operate on you. They did it to me 8.5 years ago with Dr. Neil Shmunez. Check him out online, Shmunez Vision, or go to Instagram. Get all the testimonials at Shmunez Vision. We are jam-packed on this Friday night. Good to have you with us alongside Dylan Denmark. My name is Rick Ballou.
Now, another classic moment in Jags history.
Brunell swats it downfield looking for Keenan in the end zone. Keenan leaps, makes the catch. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 31 yards.
The home of the home team you grew up with. 1010XL.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Call the deck guys if you want a brand new deck pavers or more. Call 904-813-2474.
TheDeckGuysJacks.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important.
Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T.
Bring it in!
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
on 1010XL.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails. All in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape. And you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea. Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Winning tonight till 8 o'clock. Big surprise coming up in 20 minutes. I've got a guest that is going to knock you silly. You're going to have to keep it right here to find out. Jeremy on Twitter, I believe it's Kespel, is how you say the last name, says, Ballou, I hated it when the Jaguars let Brunell and McCardell go. Yep, you know what? Those would be two very good ones. Kind of escaped my mind. I was thinking of current Jags, but yeah. Not going to argue with you there. Getting a lot of Freddie Freemans in, including the 36-72. Dale Murphy leaving Atlanta. For those of you who forget, Dale Murphy went off to Philadelphia. Look at YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? Let's wave to the folks. It's good to see you right here on this Friday. Floyd Brooks has a whole bunch of guys. Malcolm Kuntz. Kind of a sub-starter, right? Bobby Brown, not overly familiar with the Rams. Carlton Davis, certainly his name has been referenced here in town. Jeremy Fowler said the defensive back could be on his way to Jacksonville. He mentioned him. Again, it is a very rich defensive back class. A lot of guys. Carlton Davis, Byron Murphy, Asante Samuel Jr., Reed is a free agent. Plenty there. No doubt about it. Tapa says Javon Holland. Chris Godwin. Floyd Brooks says Will Fries. I'm a little concerned because he went out with that injury. a year ago. Josh Myers has been mentioned. We're still down the Jalen Ramsey trade because we wasted a first-round picks on Henderson and Chase. There's absolutely no question about it. Well, that was awful. That was destructive. There's only one positive to that. And no, I won't say it. Instead, I'll say this. You have to consider, if you did have Jalen Ramsey and everything was great, what he would have cost you. It would have been well over $100 million. And you've seen what goes on with Jalen. Worn out his welcome in Tallahassee. Worn out his welcome in Jacksonville. Worn out his welcome in Los Angeles. How long until he wears out his welcome in Miami? I'm a huge fan. I'm never going to stop being a fan of Jalen Ramsey. I'd take him back in a heartbeat, okay? Because what he gives you that others do not, that man hates to lose, okay? Now, he ruined it by faking a back injury and forcing his way out of town. I get it. I'm not expecting you to agree with me on this, but I think a message was sent yesterday by moving these players. Obviously, it's about changing the culture, but it's also about finding people who do not accept losing. And last year was so mysterious. It was so bizarre because Jacksonville was close. Yeah, I swear by this. I honestly believe that if I think Doug Peterson is a good coach. I believe that if Doug Peterson called plays, instead of being 4-13, 8-9, maybe. Okay? I mean, it's still not playoff worthy, but it's a heck of a lot better. And you got to take things into consideration, right? Everyone wants to win. But Doug Peterson calling plays, again, I don't spend time here thinking about how to please or disappoint Doug Peterson or any coach or any player for that matter. For me, my intent has always been about you, the ear, the listener, okay? Your dreams were shattered last year. You couldn't even get out of the month of September. I mean, this team dropped a 0-4 on you. They just basically looked at you and said, take that, Duval. We're going to take your dreams and just shatter them in the first week of the season. First month of the season, excuse me. I mean, every team has a run. Every team finds a way to win a game. You know, at least in September, worst case scenario, you're 1-3, you're 2-2, you're in it. You can look at this team said, no. I mean, how depressing is that? And I will always believe that if Peterson was actually calling the plays, they would have won games. But he checked out. He quit. He quit on you. He quit on his players. Not going to argue that point. 7776, Shaq O'Neal leaving Orlando for the Los Angeles Lakers. 54-16, Tony Baselli going to the Texans. I remember having Tony on that night when I was working in Chicago. He never obviously suited up with the Houston Texans. Seth Payne went as well. Seth has remained there. He came back here for a little bit. Opened up a Golden Corral out in Palm Coast. I love Seth Payne. And not to say I don't love Baselli. And he's back in Houston now doing radio. All right, let's get to some things. I appreciate that. I want to spend a couple of minutes. I appreciate all your suggestions on what you, what hurt you earlier in life when you lost a hero, when you lost a player. Now I want to get back to, because I'm getting an awful lot on your priority here. What's your priority on Monday, Dylan? What is whether it's a player or a position that has to absolutely be addressed on Monday?
Center. Mm-hmm. Not even a second thought. I think center's the number one position group you have to go after, and there's a wide gap, and there's everybody else.
Yeah.
You can't rely on a rookie center coming in here and expecting things to go smooth. You have a couple of centers available on the free agent market. And when you talk about the offensive line and how you want to build it, yes, tackles are the most important because the left tackle, protects the blind side, but it starts with a center. And they make all the calls, and it starts from there, having the relationship with the quarterback. You go with the center.
ESPN did a nice job today. They broke down 10 offensive free agents to be and gave projections. One was Drew Dahlman. Okay, Dahlman is 25 years of age. He was a fourth-round pick by Atlanta, obviously 4 years ago. He's 26 years of age out of Stanford. So I guess back in the day he played with Walker Little, but Walker Little was always hurt and things along those lines. Drew Dahlman, okay? 3 years, $42 million. $14 million a year, $29 guaranteed. The description of him is that run blocking is his strength, but he continues to show improvement in pass protection. My understanding is that he's not outstanding as a pass protector, okay? I also heard Prisco earlier in the week say that the zone scheme that they ran in Atlanta is not going to be the scheme that is run here in Jacksonville. Okay, that's the only thing I've heard about that. I'm still trying to figure out what the blocking scheme is going to be offensively. I'm still trying to figure out, officially what type of defensive scheme Anthony Campanile is going to run. So, again, the intrigue is overwhelming. I think you have to do it. I think you have to strike here with a guy like Drew Dahlman or a guy like Josh Myers in Green Bay. Okay, he'll be 27 in July. He is a former second-round pick out of Ohio State with a ton of starting experience. You're going to have to overpay. Every team is going to have to overpay when you set the market on Monday. I love your way of thinking here. It is the first position that I have down. I have the interior offensive line, and whether they strike with a center or they strike with a right guard, as long as you can get one of the two done, I'll be happy. You can address the other in the draft. I would not be surprised at all now if you see Jacksonville completely retool this roster where guys that are not household names, guys who have not gotten a lot of ink around here, could be a part of the process, like right guard Ben Bredesen. He's not anywhere on any free agent lists. But Liam Cohen just had him. What if Liam Cohen thinks, in my offense, with that offensive line in Jacksonville, he's going to be fine, and he's going to be cost-effective to bring him in? I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not coming close to saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying I think that guys like this could be added. Robert Hainsley, he lost his starting job to Graham Barton, but he was the starter there a couple of years ago in Tampa Bay, back when Tom Brady was the quarterback out of Notre Dame. I think he's 25 years of age. He's a non-starting. So do you bring him in as a center and say, okay, it's you and it's Luke Fortner, go for it? Or it's you and it's Luke Fortner and you draft a rookie, and if the rookie blows you out, then you cut Fortner and you bring back $3.7 million. I think this is a lot of what this team is going to do. I don't think they overspend for a wide receiver. I don't think they overspend for a defensive tackle. I want them to spend, but I don't think they will. I don't think they'll overspend for a corner. I think they'll overspend for a safety. And then the second position for me would be the interior offensive line. That's my gut feeling. That is mine. And, let's get back to some thoughts from you on this. 8879, I think you give good deal to Joey Bosa. Get him the backup on the edge. I believe he could be a rejuvenated player in the AFC South. It's a fascinating idea. Where is Joey Bosa at this point in his career? Where's Khalil Mack at this point in his career? Do you want to give basically whatever Josh Sweat wants? I saw, who was this knucklehead's name? Let me see here. His name is Tanner Pfeiffer, and he's a media guy in the Deep South. He said 7 teams are expected to show interest at Trey Hendrickson. Okay, it's just one report. You're going to mortgage all that for Trey Hendrickson? You're going to give up a first-round pick? You're going to pay this guy $30 million a year or whatever it is, where there's 2 guys already in position, right? It goes to the Myles Garrett deal. What's it going to cost to get Myles Garrett? Well, I'll tell you what it's going to cost. Probably a couple of first-round picks and Trayvon Walker. You're going to give that up. You're going to give up a first and a third to get DK Metcalf? You're going to bring this diva in and say, here's $30 million a year, $120 million over 4 years. He's making $18 million this year, and he probably wouldn't show up if you don't extend it? Hell no. No. I'm not giving DK Metcalf $30 million a year to be a wide receiver. Godwin's the one that continues to really interest me, but folks in Tampa say they're not going to let him get away. The only way he gets away from Tampa is how? For a team to overpay. Here's another projection. Where is it? It was a very good article today. I think it was, is it Brian Burnwell who does it? I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly or perhaps incorrectly. All right, I thought he was on this. I must have read it somewhere else. But it's 3 years, 75. All right, here it is right here. 3 years, $75 million for Chris Godwin. 25 a year, $50 million guaranteed. Guy's got a bum ankle. He may not be ready. New brass now, right? Baselli can remind them that, hey, this organization did this a year ago and it totally backfired with injured players, and you got nothing out of them. Liam Cohen spent time with Chris Godwin. I don't know the heart of Chris Godwin. I can't measure that. Cohen can. What if Cohen says, this guy is it? We can move this guy all over. We can move Brian Thomas all over. You know, we can do all sorts of different things with these two opposite one another. He's worth the money. No one's going to know him better, right? No one is. Maybe it's an aging veteran like Davante Adams. Edgar Bennett had him forever as the wide receiver coach in Green Bay. When the legal tampering period gets underway, Edgar Bennett can talk with Davante Adams. All right, Edgar Bennett's going to know Davante Adams. Does he still have it? Is it a last paycheck for Davante Adams? Or does this guy want to chase another ring? I mean, you got these connections, and every team has them. But Jacksonville has them as well. So, Cooper Kupp's been all over the place. Obviously, Cohen was there with Kupp. Gladstone was there with Kupp. I mean, you've got 2 of the 3 work directly with him. So they know. So it is. It's a very exciting time here in anticipation of Monday. I just wish I knew what they were going to do. But let's continue with you on this, your free agent priority. All right, let's have a little bit of fun here. Coming up next, Get the Let Out Wednesday night. If you've never seen them, you are missing out. If you're an old school rocker who smokes 3 packs of Chesterfields a day and you love Led Zeppelin, they are for you. They will be at the Florida Theater, 8 o'clock on Wednesday night. I've seen them several times, and they rock. We'll talk to their lead guitarist next.
Bone-crushing blows to game-winning goals.
Yes!
Feel the energy on 1010XL.
History!
Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Here's Linda Beaver.
It's a new year with new goals, but let's face it, not all resolutions are easy to keep. Maybe you promised yourself you'd eat healthier, but pizza still seems like a better idea. Or you said you'd read more, but your favorite show just launched a new season. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, we can help you keep your New Year's resolution. We offer the biggest selection, best prices, and the easiest car buying experience. Let's make a resolution to visit Beaver Toyota or Beaver Chevrolet, where we'll wow you with a new ride for the new year.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 7, 1966, NBA legend Magic Johnson is the second NBA player to reach 10,000 career assists, doing so in the Lakers' victory over the Sacramento Kings.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Corona Premier, a light beer with just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. The premier side of life. For those that are active and on the go, pick some up the next time you're heading out to enjoy the day under the sun. Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Florida heat is no joke. Is your air conditioner ready for it? At Duck Duck Air Conditioning, we've got a crazy offer just for you. We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. One of our expert techs will come look at your AC unit and make recommendations to ensure it's running at peak performance. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. Duck Duck Air Conditioning. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Do you know someone looking for a fun and rewarding summer job?
Join the YMCA team, gain valuable experience, and make a difference in kids' lives. Turn your passion for this community into a fulfilling career at the First Coast YMCA. Now hiring camp counselors, lifeguards, child care leaders, and membership experience team. Every single person on the dedicated YMCA staff plays a role in making the Y a welcoming and vital resource for our community. Find your career at the Y at fcymca.org.
Equal opportunity employer.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Coming up is the best week of the year, non-football related. Are you kidding me? The start of free agency in the NFL, the Players' Championship in town, and get the lead out Wednesday night, 8 o'clock at the Florida Theater. What an amazing show. Try to catch it every year, and I am coming up on Wednesday night. We are joined by one of the original founders, lead guitarist of Get the Lead Out. He is Paul Hammond, and he joins Rick Ballou. Paul, I really appreciate a few minutes of your time.
Rick, no problem. We're extremely psyched to get back to Jacksonville to the Florida Theater. We love it there.
Man, you guys rock here. You guys are absolutely sensational. I mean it. Just a tremendous act.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. We take it to the next level. Our fans know that, and so yeah, it's extremely exciting.
Take us through it a little bit. How, what were your aspirations as a musician? When did it all come together to form Get the Lead Out?
It's a really good question. I'm dating myself by telling you that I've been playing guitar since 1973.
Wow.
I was 8 years old, and I was originally taught by my father and became self-taught. Began taking formal lessons at the age of 12, so I had to learn how to play properly before I could learn how to play wrong. But so think about it. That was mid-'70s, late '70s, so Zeppelin was still a band. And, I had to learn sight read music and, jazz, all that, theory and stuff. And then I wanted to play rock and roll. So I started playing the music of the day, which was Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Rush, Jimi Hendrix, you name it, Zeppelin, Cream, right? The supergroup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff I played. So I played in local bands, just, little cover band projects, and wrote my own stuff, too. And then I wrote music along the lines of like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin with our lead singer, Paul Sinclair. And that dates back to like the mid-'80s. So we had a project going for a while, original project that we, had some near misses with, record company fame. But we got a lot of really great connections as a result in the Philadelphia music business, because that's where we're based out of. So going back 20 years now, believe it or not, we were playing a local show at a local bar where we would do Aerosmith and Zeppelin songs for, a full set on a Sunday night. And every single time we did it, it was packed. It was like standing room only. And we were approached by other local musicians to do a Led Zeppelin tribute. And our singer, Paul, who I was working with at that point for many years, said the only way he would do a Led Zeppelin tribute is if we played it exactly like the record.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So he didn't want to do a look-alike tribute thing and, dye his hair blonde and, put on a fake English accent. He said, let's get an extra guitar guy, keyboards, and let's play it like everybody remembers it from all the years of listening to it on, vinyl records, cassette, on the radio, of course, 8-track tape cartridges in your old hot rod, right? So, so with that in mind, it really became very well accepted by Zeppelin fans and music fans in general really quickly. So we didn't have to really pay our dues per se. We got a booking agent, started putting us in large rock clubs and theaters. And then fast forward, another 10 years from that, or 10 years ago, and then we find ourselves being able to tour the United States and into Canada, and also be able to ride in a tour bus and basically schedule these tours. Where in the spring right now, we're going to Florida and, via what's tonight? Tonight we're Chattanooga, tomorrow's Atlanta, Sunday's Myrtle Beach, and then we end up in sunny Florida. Jacksonville. Yeah.
We're going to roll out the red carpet for you.
Oh, thanks. And we love the Jacksonville kid. Everybody there's so nice, and we have a lot of fans, and just everybody at the venue, and the catering is great. And you remember that about venues. It's like,
Florida Theater's absolutely. I mean, it is a slice of heaven, and we love the fact that you're playing there. Paul Hammond of Get the Lead Out. They're in town Wednesday night, 8:00. You can get all the tickets. Just go to floridatheater.com. I get there just in time for the show because I work till 8. But after the show, there's a bar across the street, and you talk with Led Zeppelin fans, and they're thrilled. They can't believe how incredible it sounded. Do you guys still get that same thrill playing to a packed audience?
Absolutely. That's a question that I've been asked multiple times over the years. Oh, and by the way, that little bar across the street is great.
It is.
Stop in there before the bus rolls. We'll go over and talk to some fans and stuff. But
I thought you were going to get all fired up like the original Led Zeppelin, really get after it.
We wait till after the show. That's what. Well, it would be a different thing if we were doing the live version, where all bets were off, But no, we're very precise, and it's a very professional outfit.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah. With that in mind, though, I've played Stairway to Heaven probably over 1,000 times, easily over 1,000 times, and it's a good thing I like the music because I still enjoy playing it to this day. It's very. The thing about our show that's interesting that keeps fans coming back is that our singer, Paul, he keeps a database of all the shows that we do and every set list that we've done at those venues. So every time we return to a venue, it's a different set list.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have followers because, we do our annual West Coast tour, which we start at Red Rocks in Denver, which is an amazingly great venue. In fact, it's one of the top rated in the world. We have people fly from all over the country to come see us there. And actually, we have people fly from all over the country to see us in Florida. So I guarantee you there'll be some Northerners at the show.
Yeah, this is going to be great. So No Quarter is my favorite song. Any chance that's on the set list Wednesday night?
I'd say that's a safe bet. I don't know yet because Paul writes them the day before. But you know what? I have connections. I might be able to put in a good word for you.
All right. Hey, as we let you go, have you ever heard from John Paul Jones, Robert Plant, or Jimmy Page?
As a matter of fact, yes. That they're all interesting stories. Robert Plant, that's a really good one, actually. We were playing the Portsmouth Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
I know right where it is. I grew up in Boston.
Yeah.
I know right where it is.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, that's fantastic. A small world, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing the show, and I'm standing in the green room, and the woman who is the promoter of the show is standing there on the telephone. And so she gets off the telephone, and she asks me, she says, do you know who that was? And I said, well, no, I don't know who that. She says, that was Robert Plant. I'm like, really?
Wow.
And so she tells me, she says, oh, yeah, Robert, he asked what band was playing at the music hall tonight. And she said, oh, Get the Lead Out. And his comment to her was, oh, Get the Lead Out. That's a great band.
Man, it is.
Yeah. How about that? Robert Plant said we're a great band. And then Jimmy Page, he knows about us. I spoke with him on the phone when we made a custom guitar for him at the Martin Guitar Factory in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. We actually made a couple for him to auction off for the charity for his wife at the time. And I think the one that he sold, he played it, was Roy Harper's 70th birthday celebration. He played the guitar. We got him, and then I think he auctioned it off for like 50,000 pounds. Yeah, something, something outrageous. But at any rate, he thinks it's brilliant that, and exciting that there is still bands like Get the Lead Out honoring and tributing their music that they created. So they give thumbs up, which is super cool.
And you guys are a tremendous act. I will say this. You get a couple of cocktails in you. You go in there, and you pretend it's Led Zeppelin, you guys sound exactly like Led Zeppelin. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't the truth. I am fired up to get there and see you guys on Wednesday night.
Oh, Rick, thank you so much. And maybe we'll hang out and toss a couple down after the show.
That'd be a lot of fun. If I can just make one little request, I can get from the studio here to the Florida Theater in about 8 minutes. Anyway, you guys go on at like 8:05, 8:06, and not smack dab at 8 o'clock?
Like I said, I have connections.
the rest of the audience could be mad at me, but I'm just kidding. Yeah, you roll, and I'll come in if it's the second or third song. But this is a pleasure, Paul. Look forward to meeting you, and we'll see you out there on Wednesday night at the Florida Theater.
And likewise, make sure you come say hi.
All right, there he goes. Paul Hammond. Folks, it is an unbelievable show. Get the lead out. And it is Wednesday at 8 at the Florida Theater. It's always a packed house. I'm telling you, if you are a Led Zeppelin fan, you are crazy not to give this a shot. Not to give this a shot. I've been many times. The last couple of years, it's worked out at the Players. And I've been at the Players. I've been at the golf course doing my Wednesday night show. I'm not doing it this year there. I'm doing it here. So I'm going to be able to slide right over to the Florida Theater. But just go to floridatheater.com. Get yourself some tickets. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Get the lead out. Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you never saw Zeppelin live, now you can know what it's like. And if you did, relive the magic of Led Zeppelin live. Get the Let Out is back at Florida Theater, March 12th. Get the Let Out. Find out what it felt like to see Zeppelin live. Get tickets now at floridatheater.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at cordellcordell.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and you got really cool things going on right now because there's new product coming in the showroom. Tell everybody about the Aprilia Demo Days.
March 11th and 12th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to have the Aprilia Demo Truck. We caught them on the way back from Daytona Bike Week. They're going to be there. Come ready to ride.
Tell everybody real quick about Aprilia.
They are a bad Italian motorcycle. Nobody's ever ridden an Italian anything and said that wasn't fun.
Check it out. Cycles of Jacksonville. All the details on their Facebook page.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
It's game time for your business, and Advanced Business Solutions has the winning play. With Xerox copiers, you'll never miss a deadline. Fast, reliable, and built for high performance, Xerox copiers keep your team ahead of the competition. From printing to scanning, Xerox brings the MVPs of efficiency to your office. Ready to make the winning move? Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions. Veteran owned.
Printers, copiers, and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
What's happening, folks? E.T. here, and it may be hard to believe, but Spring Park is just around the corner. Are you ready for an adventure? Whether you're kayaking on Black Creek, hiking through Jennings State Forest, or enjoying live entertainment, Clay County is the perfect place to relax and explore. Plan your trip and find out what's happening at exploreclay.com. And don't forget to share your adventures by tagging #ExploreClay on social media. Come on, somebody.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We did tonight till 8 o'clock, last hour. What do you think I saw? We may have a gift for you coming up a little bit later on that involves Led Zeppelin. Get the lead out. But right now we got some breaking news. What do you have over there, Dylan Denmark?
Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter both reporting Geno Smith is going back with his old folk Pete Carroll to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow. So that eliminates Sam Darnold, right? I mean, what's Minnesota going to do? Are they going to pay Sam Darnold $40+ million a year when you have J.J. McCarthy? Can you just shelve him? I mean, if you sign him to a long-term deal, and we saw what Atlanta did last year with Cousins and how that backfired. But this whole quarterback carousel is very interesting to me. There was some talk that maybe Russell Wilson would rejoin Pete Carroll and head to Las Vegas. Of course, there was that whole story about the flirting that went on between Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford before he restructured in Los Angeles. Fields is available. Going to be, I didn't see this one coming, though.
No.
Trade with Geno Smith. I mean, that's all I do is read what's going on as far as rumors and what have you. I saw nothing of Geno Smith being moved.
Geno's got 1 year left on his contract, and Seattle gets a third rounder out of it.
Okay. Third round pick for Geno Smith. Very interesting. So that's not one that I did expect. I also a little bit surprised today that Jonathan Allen became available. Jonathan Allen, a very productive football player, and it seems like it's the same guys. It's the same teams who get mentioned. There's a little bit more this year with Jacksonville. Which I do like, but not nearly as much as I assume most of you out there would like. Today is Jim Rice's 72nd birthday, so I was talking about some of my favorite players growing up. Jim Rice did play the entire career with the Boston Red Sox. That doesn't happen much anymore. Brad Marchand traded today I mean, Brad Meester did here. What in hockey, I can think of Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby and eventually Malkin. But who else do we have? Freddie Freeman was moved. Who do we have in baseball? Altuve and Kershaw, right? They've been around for long periods of time, very long periods of time. Who's the longest tenured player in the NFL with the same team? I mean, it wouldn't be Kelsey. That's only 10 or 11 years, right? Any idea? And if you look at like a skill position guy, well, it's never going to be the case with running backs. Well, Mike Evans has been around now for, 11 years?
Yeah.
In Tampa?
Since 2013. Kelsey's been the same.
Okay.
Same.
There's got to be a lineman
era
in there somewhere that I'm missing.
Yeah. You probably think kicker, too.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, but you know what? Listen, I love kickers, but for this, let's keep it to, actual position players, not kickers or punters.
Okay. Cameron Jordan's been with the Saints since 2011.
Okay. So that's probably the longest.
Yeah. I'm trying to verify this because this is Reddit. Let's see. No, I don't need that.
How about San Francisco? How about Trent Williams? He was
with Washington.
He was in Washington before he went to San Francisco. Okay. Yeah. Who's the longest tenured Jaguar? It's got to be Logan Cook, right? Has to be. I mean, I don't even think it's even close. It would. Yeah, I mean, Devon Hamilton. You have to look back on some of those draft classes. But Mike Trout in baseball is mentioned. Okay. Dumb move by Boston by the 70-94. I'm with you. I mean, I can't figure this out. Why in the hell would you peddle Brad Marchand? I still haven't even seen what they got in return. Now, Marchand's 37. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Tell you what, I told Blaylock this. Silently, I'm going to have to root for the Florida Panthers. And I'm just really questioning my mental capacity by saying that because of how pissed I was 20 years ago when Ray Bork did that, left Boston and went to Colorado. I was appalled. And I could never support, Clemens or Damon or Boggs going to New York because it's New York. I found myself liking Mookie Betts a little bit in L.A., but it was like I had given up at that point. I had considered Boston a third world country or a third world city, and I considered my hometown of Boston as a small market when they just said, here, take a 25-year-old five-tool player, come and get him. T. Higgins. $125 million over 4 years. Going to make $31.5 million a year. And what's it going to cost to get him? A lot of people think that he could possibly be moved. Trey Smith as well. Trey Smith as an offensive guard was the guy that I had coveted more than anyone else. Those are the only two free agent tags this year. There were the only two franchise tags this year. There were 8 franchise tags a year ago. There's been at least 6 franchise tags dating back to 2021. So this is an unusual year around the NFL. The lack of franchise tagging, just trades everywhere, right? I mean, we keep seeing trades and rumored trades and players who are being thrown out there that you have the opportunity to now go out and make a trade. We just had the one that came in that Dylan told us about with Geno Smith going to Las Vegas Raiders, 1 year remaining on his deal. He'll rejoin Pete Carroll, and obviously Tom Brady had to sign off on that. I would think Tom Brady had to sign off on that, or maybe is it John Spytek who became the new general manager, or maybe that was in-house collaboration. Maybe the three of them got together and just said, Geno Smith, you like, let's flip a coin. John Spytek likes him. Tom Brady says, I think maybe we should go for a little something more. Pete Carroll says, I had him, I want him. They get him. That threesome's been busy. They brought in Alex Kappa. earlier in the week. They re-signed Max Crosby to a $106 million deal over 3 years, $91.5 up front, or guaranteed. Trey Smith, I don't think he's going anywhere because of the compensation that you got to give up, and then you got to turn around and sign him. I would think that is too problematic for any organization. It feels like more teams want to get rid of as opposed to acquire. And, the draft is interesting because at the quarterback position, that is the only one where we see teams really sacrifice their future by giving up so much to move way, way to the top to get a quarterback. You very often see that with position players. Now, Jacksonville in the last couple of years, there's been a couple of examples where they traded up for Devin Lloyd and traded back for Brian Thomas. Yeah, you see stuff like that later in the draft. But typically with position players, to move way up, it only happens with quarterbacks. And, we still have 47 days. Right now, it feels like Cam Ward's number one, Shedeur Sanders. You're getting all sorts of different stuff. I wonder if a lot of it is planted about his attitude and being, brash and obnoxious and arrogant. I wonder, is it planted stuff or is it legitimate? And then you look at Jackson Dart and you wonder if all of a sudden he's going to fly up. You have pro days waiting and things like that. And that is the one position where once you get to draft day, a team will panic if they don't get something done in free agency. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I'm getting all this stuff in on Boston and all this stuff on players leaving. Not surprised. Let's do this right now before the break. I have 2 tickets for Wednesday night to get the let out. If you call in before I ask the question, you are automatically eliminated. Okay. Look at the lines. It's a little too soon. All right. We know about the great Led Zeppelin and the late John Bonham, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones. Jimmy Page has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Obviously, he went in with Led Zeppelin. What other band did Jimmy Page go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with? The first answer at 641-1010. We'll see you out there Wednesday at Get the Let Out. You will be the winner.
The station that's always longest off the tee is 1010XL.
You got a beautiful bachelor. Dad, he got all of that one.
Jacksonville's Sports Radio. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
On Wednesday night, the Gators got their 3rd victory over a top 10 team of the season against the Alabama Crimson Tide, winning 99-94. Condon had a career night with 27 points and 10 rebounds, while Walter Clayton Jr. had 22 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. Florida locked up the 2 seed and the double bye in the SEC tournament next week, and they'll play their final regular season game at home against Ole Miss tomorrow night.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
Don't miss the play
Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 7, 1966, NBA legend Magic Johnson is the second NBA player to reach 10,000 career assists, doing so in the Lakers' victory over the Sacramento Kings.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you an experienced chiller technician and looking for a role where your skills are truly valued? It's time to make the move to Local 234, plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. You'll get top pay, comprehensive health and welfare benefits for your family, and a pension that doesn't come out of your pocket. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Karen, owner of Clay Solar Installation Partners, your local women-owned solar company. At Clay Solar, we're more than just panels and power. We're about people. We make the switch to clean energy simple, stress-free, and built to last. If you've had a bad experience with solar in the past, we can help. We specialize in dependable solutions and top-notch customer service, so you can finally enjoy the savings and sustainability you deserve. Schedule your free consultation at claysolar.com.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Are you thinking about a pool for your home? Blue Haven Pools is Jacksonville's largest pool builder. They've built pools for over 20,000 satisfied families since 2000. It's never been easier to design the perfect pool for your home, family, and budget. Call Blue Haven Pools today at 904-620-0090 to get a free in-home estimate for your in-ground pool, or visit bluehaven.com. Don't let another summer pass by without a pool. Join thousands of happy Jacksonville pool owners in a Blue Haven pool.
Looking for adventure? Need a machine that works as hard as you do? CF Moto has you covered. At Ride Now Beach Boulevard, we've got CF Moto ATVs and UTVs built for any task, any trail, anytime. Tear up the dirt with the trail-tested C-Force ATV lineup or conquer through terrain with a Z-Force UTV. Find your CF Moto ride today at Ride Now Beach Boulevard or visit ridenowbeachboulevard.com. ATVs and UTVs are for riders 16 and older. They can be hazardous to operate. CF Moto recommends an improved safety training course.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You need Kool-Aid. Brandon Graham.
Baby, I'm not fool.
He is your longest tenured player with one team.
Yeah. Back
course, he was activated for the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. Been around since 2010 in the city of brotherly love. We have a winner to get the let out to go see them Wednesday night at 8 o'clock at the Florida Theater, Dylan.
We do. We have Mr. Todd. He got those tickets. He told me that he also saw them at the Red Rocks not too long ago.
Wow.
So
what a great... I went through there last summer. Widespread Panic was playing. I toured through Colorado. And I've always liked to get out there to see... Tedeschi trucks, but they're always there during training camp. I did go back and forth with Derek the other day, by the way. And he's got the whole band in, and they're recording right now. Also sent me some pictures of, they were in Greenland, him and Susan, with the actor who plays Kenny Powers, the funny dude.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I forget his name. He is a very funny guy. And they were out there with some folks and enjoying it. This is about 2 weeks ago. So I know they come this summer, do Tedeschi trucks. They have back-to-back shows.
Danny McBride.
That was it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get some whiskey from Derek. He's got this new ass pocket whiskey. Have you heard about it?
Have not.
I guess, it's like ridiculous how potent it is. I mean, I'm talking about if you're doing shots, they should be bottle cap shots. But he did. He lined up an opportunity, and I was supposed to get it around Christmas, but I just never was able to get up with him while he had any of it. But I want to try it. And if I try, I want to try it in the comfort of my own bar, in my own home. So. There you go. Congratulations. There still are seats available, and this place will be sold out by Wednesday night. Just go to Florida Theater, and it'll be at 8 o'clock. Get the let out. I'm telling you, it's a sensational show. It really is. The Players' Championship sent out a release this afternoon. It's a 144-player field. 48 of the top 50 players, according to the official World Golf Rankings, are playing, which is a little bit obscure because they don't count, the whole live deal with the world rankings. So you can make what you want out of that. But we know that some heavy hitters, including Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, are not going to be there. I guess Phil Mickelson got really upset at Fred Couples. Did you hear about that? Mickelson, tore him up. Couples came forward and said he talked with Brooks Koepka and that Koepka wants to rejoin the PGA Tour. And Mickelson just absolutely went nuts on him, which in itself I think is hilarious. I'll talk about that next week. I do have some scheduled guests coming up that are golf-related, amongst everything else that's going on, free agency, the NFL. 8 players who have won the Players' Championship will be in attendance. Scotty Scheffler trying to win for the third time. Of course, he did it in 23 and 24. Justin Thomas returns. Rory McIlroy, Siwoo Kim, Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Matt Kuchar, and Adam Scott. A couple of other notables here. Let's see. Justin Rose and Matt Kuchar will be making their 20th career appearance. Scotty Scheffler is trying to become the first player to win the Players' Championship 3 times since Jack Nicklaus did it in 74, 76, and 78. When did they officially build Sawgrass where it is now? I know they did it across the street, and they did some other things like that. I don't know if it was in place by 78. I do not know if Jack ever – I think he won 2 across the street. Maybe he won in 78 at the Players' Championship. I should know that, considering I've been covering this event forever, but I don't. And again, if I don't know something, I am going to admit it.
Says 1980.
Okay, so Jack won all 3, not at the stadium course. There you go. Appreciate that. So I learned something. today. 24 players will be in the field for the first time. So there you have it. We're going to have nonstop coverage for you, folks. It is a Sundress City. And it's just so great to get out there. And, there's people I see once a year, and it's at the Players' Championship. And, I'll talk a little bit about this next week, but so many people, they're infatuated with 17, and that's where the party is. But there really are a lot of wonderful places to watch golf all around the course, depending where you are. One of my favorites has always been where you can do dual things. You can be up on that hill that overlooks the range. I don't think I can call it a driving range. I think that I'll be canceled if I call it a driving range. I mean, with the PGA Tour, I think I have to refer to it as like a practice area or something like that. I think just driving range, there's a chance I could lose my job over. But anyway, you're up on that hill, and if you look and you watch where the players practice, that's always cool. And then you turn around and go the other direction, that's the par 3, the third hole, which I think is a very underrated par 3. So
I got a correction. Sawgrass Country Club, it was held from 77 to 81, and then it was held at the stadium course in 82.
Okay. 1982. First one I covered was in 1997, and that was Steve Elkington who won it. I think Elkington won it in 97. Then I want to say it was like Justin Leonard in 98. And then, of course, David Duval, one of the most thrilling Players' Championships of all time. If I could drum anything up, it would be that. And I know they're going to go low. I know they're going to crush it. They always do. But I like a few events a year where par is a good score. And that is why that'll always remain my favorite Players' Championship. And it's not because David Duval is from here and he's a local favorite. I like David Duval. I like his dad, Bob Duval. But I loved what that tournament was all about. It was a grind from tee box to the green and in the hole. And I'll never forget on 17 where that Sunday pin placement where David Duval went for it. I mean, you talk about berries. With a lead in that wind, to actually land your golf ball to the right of the pin with that placement, ultimate respect for David Duval. And that was my favorite all-time Players' Championship. No, Tiger's not coming. If you were wondering, Tiger's not coming. Tiger's going to try to get everything ready for the Masters, which is what, like 5 weeks away? I mean, time is just absolutely flying.
Can we ship that sail that he's never probably going to play here again? Probably.
He was never a big fan of this course, even though he won here as an amateur, and, of course, he's won here as a pro. He admitted it. He came right out and said it. He's not a fan of Sawgrass. So imagine being that good, and you can tell what courses you like, tell what courses you do not like. There were complaints coming out last week from the PGA National. Billy Horschel was complaining that there wasn't enough rough. I mean, you had a score in the 59. You had some unbelievable. And you've got to make it more difficult for these golfers. That's always been my opinion. They make it look so easy, and it's not. But I still think there should be some golf courses that are considered beyond treacherous. And, yeah, I remember the 2000 United States Open. It was the first time I ever covered a United States Open, and that was in, that was at Pebble Beach in Monterey. And that's when Tiger Woods won by like 15 strokes. But if memory serves me correct, I think Tiger won it like 12 under or something. And like every other golfer in the field was above par, over par. So you're not going to get a lot of those anymore. 34-47 Ballou. I absolutely do not understand trading Christian Kirk to the Houston Texans. You know it is more valuable than a 7th-round pick. Your rival and current divisional favorites, adding a good wide receiver. Make it make sense, brother. I can't. The only sense would be you got Houston to give Christian Kirk $16+ million out of their salary cap for this year. There's no way Christian Kirk would have fetched that in the open market, right? So you got a divisional rival to pay this guy $1 million a game, and I'm guessing they don't wish ill on anyone, but I'm sure their thinking is he's missed the last 2 years because of injuries. The chance of Christian Kirk being able to play an entire season is not something that anyone would bet on. That's the only sense that you can make out of this, because I wouldn't have traded him to a divisional rival. Just to me, I wouldn't do it. 23.89 with the money to just say by getting rid of Christian Kirk, I would like to see them pick up Davante Adams, because I think he and Brian Thomas Jr. would be a killer duo. I think you can get good service out of Davante Adams for a year or two. And again, they're going to kick those tires. They're going to have that conversation. They're going to collaborate. Edgar Bennett was the wide receivers coach for years for Davante Adams. He knows him. He knows him as well as anyone in the NFL. He was his coach, his position coach. So, Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, Tony Baselli, they've sat down with Edgar Bennett, and they have investigated whether or not it works for Davante Adams. And by the way, they've done this with, I hope, with quite a few players and coaches with players. I mean, dozens, not just Davante Adams, right? They have these conversations with everyone. It's all about relationships. It's all about things that you see. Good times, sure, but how do you handle things during bad times? I'm not calling this a rebuild. It's not a rebuild. Rebuild was with Mike Mularkey. Rebuild was with Gus Bradley. This team has some stuff put in place. It's not a rebuild. They could make the right decisions in free agency and the draft and win the division. They could. It could also be a process where you improve from 4 wins to 7 wins or 8 wins. But you can see that it is taking a turn for the better, right? Is Davante Adams part of that plan? Okay. Davante Adams is part of you have a chance to win the AFC South division this year plan. Davante Adams is not part of let's improve by 3 or 4 wins, get better, and take that with you to 2026. He really doesn't fit in. Going to be more cost affordable. I think you can probably get Davante Adams for, I don't know, $15 million a year, $20 million a year. I don't know. And you could probably get him on a 2-year deal. Javon Holland. Hey, I said the one position they're going to overpay for. This is from the 74-22. That is it. Safety. I mean, I hope there's more. I hope there's a guard or a center. But my bet would be on safety. If their biggest splash is going to be safety. I have a gut feeling that they're not going to go after one of these wide receivers. I would actually be surprised if they go for one of these top-notch centers or right guards. Again, I think they're going to bring in some guys that you don't know the name, but they think can play. They think can compete. And I think it's going to be a way to improve, the back half of the roster. They may be bringing in some guys here early on in free agency who are not starters or guys who contribute, especially in the secondary. Guys who can fight to maybe be a dime guy. Guys who can maybe fight to be a third safety. I wouldn't be shocked at all. They have to address edge. You have to. You haven't done it forever. I mean, they made the same mistake year after year after year. They had no backup to Hines Allen and Walker. And, they tried Chase on. They did who's the guy they brought in last year? Travis Gibson. He didn't even get out of training camp. The airtime I wasted on Travis Gibson.
We thought he was going to be good.
That was a colossal mistake by Balky. And he was so arrogant about it. And it was a major miss. This organization can't do the same thing. You're going to have to pay for it. You've got to get yourself a backup edge, a veteran edge. And again, it's not going to break down walls here in Jacksonville. But it's a guy you hope can help. I think that's part of what they're going to do. Hopefully it's a part of what they do. And I know how you're thinking. You'd like Will Fries. You'd like, Drew Dahlman. You'd like them to get Carlton Davis. You'd like them to get Chris Godwin. I get where you're at. It's not your money, right? I mean, they got $60 million to spend. So I understand that way of thinking. And when you spend with free agency, you know what is going to happen in a couple of years. You're going to be saddled with an enormous dead cap figure. And that's what Jacksonville's dealing with right now. The very latest from Spot Track. Again, they have $60,200,000 to spend, which is 8th in the NFL. They have a dead cap figure of $58,827,000, which is the 3rd most in the NFL. So those are the very latest figures. And, that is the anticipation of all this. We don't know. It actually was an okay draft last year for Trent Baalke. He got himself 3 starters. But he also went out and overspent and thought he brought in 6 free agent starters. That's what I'm looking at. Okay? How many starters do you add in free agency? What's the number? Is it 2? I think it's 2, and then it's competition. How does that sound? I think they had 2 starters. If I was to guess, I would say safety, and then I'm fighting it between corner or now interior offensive line, whether it's center or right guard. But I think they get 2 starters, and I think the others are guys that third edge, maybe a guy that can be a nickel, as I said earlier. I think they had 2 starters in free agency. They could have had 5. They could have had, who knows?
You probably think it'd be a number 3 receiver, too. Like a veteran guy, that's a cheaper contract. That's considered a starter.
Over Parker? Over Washington?
I mean, they're probably, if you had to guess, I would guess they're going to draft a receiver that's going to get a decent amount of playing time.
Right now, DraftKings has the Jaguars as the odds-on favorite to land Cooper Kupp at plus 200. Denver's next at plus 350. He's got a $20 million contract. There's no way I'm paying Cooper Kupp $20 million a year. I'm just not doing it. I don't know what he has left. If now they know, they were just there. Gladstone was just there. So I'm going to trust this young kid. If he says, no, this is the way to go, Cooper Kupp's going to bring a lot to this football team, then okay. I'm going to support it. But I don't love it. I don't think at this point Cooper Kupp is a guy that you can define as a solid number 2 wide receiver. I don't believe that. I may be wrong. If you're going to spend that amount of money, I'd overspend and get Chris Godwin. That's my opinion. But of course, Godwin is coming off that injury, so it's going to be just out of this world coming up on Monday. All right, let's put our final thoughts on this one. We'll do that on the other side. Thank you to all who was listening to us tonight on YouTube. You can get us anytime on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL. In this case, it is Into the Night. Of course, the text line, my goodness, burning up. 641-1010. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures and on Twitter at 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
At Beaver Toyota, we believe your experience should be more than just buying a car. It should be a lifetime of confidence, care, and trust. We're proud to offer a lifetime warranty, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. We're not just here to sell you a car. We're here to establish a lifelong relationship that you can always count on. It's simple. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for less. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, where we're ready to give you peace of mind for a lifetime. We're here to wow you.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey folks, Nick here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beard's has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses and fine print. Beard's has all the top designers, including Tocory and Veragio. Beard's doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beard's Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beard's in the St. John's Town Center.
If your high school student is a high performer, they could be 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
On 1010XL.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not looking at the rearview mirror of unforgiveness. It's so easy to keep looking in the past when someone has hurt or offended us. What we don't realize that if we keep looking at the rearview mirror of anger, it will cause us to miss out on the good things that God has in store right in front of us. Friends, looking in the rearview mirror of the past will never give you peace in the present.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
What's happening, folks? E.T. here, and it may be hard to believe, but Spring Park is just around the corner. Are you ready for an adventure? Whether you're kayaking on Black Creek, hiking through Jennings State Forest, or enjoying live entertainment, Clay County is the perfect place to relax and explore. Plan your trip and find out what's happening at exploreclay.com. And don't forget to share your adventures by tagging #ExploreClay on social media. Come on, somebody.
This is your Mad Dad's Update with Chapter President Donald Ford.
In our effort to curb crime, drugs, and violence during the summer months, we are offering Friday Night Lights. It has already started and will be going until school starts back. It is every Friday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at the Blacktop, 5732 Normandy Boulevard, and behind the Potter's House Christian Academy. We manage 3 basketball courts. You are not running on the cement. We have covering on each court. The Lakers, the Magic, and the Heat. Ages 15 to 40 years old. This will give them something to do other than selling drugs and getting into trouble. We have monitors there giving leadership. We have to wake up, stand up, and speak up. Hit me on Facebook and tell me what you think.
Or MattDadJacksonville.com.
Denny Thompson here. You gotta check out Tyson's Showroom Home Theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. I can stay there to watch all my games. It's that comfortable. Call Tyson today and bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming, Iowa.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, all of the activity that the Jaguars have been a part of, including 6 transactions yesterday, which is still unlike any day I ever remember around here. Officially today, the Jaguars did make 2 roster moves. They announced the release of Evan Ingram, and they announced the release of Josh Reynolds. But there was nothing there on Devin Duvernay. There was nothing there on Ronald Darby. There was no notification of the trade that certainly did come in involved with Christian Kirk in Houston. I saw that Trevor Lawrence today basically responded to everyone on Twitter. He had some good things to say about Christian Kirk, had some good things to say about Evan Ingram, had some good things to say about Mitch Morse as well. Depending on who you talk to and what you felt, there was this feeling that Doug Peterson would ever kind of soured towards Trevor. And Trevor's got so much class that I don't think he'll ever, at least at this point in his playing career, pop off. He didn't pop off on Urban. He didn't pop off on Darrell Bevel. I don't think he's going to pop off on Peterson. He's going to pop off on Presto. I think the young man just has too much class at this point. Maybe years from now when a book comes out, after Trevor Lawrence hoists the Lombardi Trophy, right? Maybe then it is going to happen. But there's no secret that they were buddy-buddy. I mean, Christian Kirk was like his left arm, right? And again, too comfortable with losing. Christian Kirk was hurt for most of it. But it just feels like, no, this thing is brand new. I mean, something that I have been complaining about for years for the Jaguars is there's not a lot of leaders on the football team, okay? And the free agents that they added backfired. I don't care if Eric Armstead is the Walter Payton Award winner. Congratulations, but he didn't ooze with leadership on that football team. There's not a lot of great leaders. There's not leaders on that offensive line. None, in my opinion. It's just not there. Maybe in year 3 it happens for Anton Harrison. Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram were good leaders. I was told time and again that Mitch Morse is a great leader. I didn't see it. Brandon Sheriff, I didn't see it. Whenever I talked to Brandon Sheriff, man, it was the most canned answers. I mean, it was robotic. And I don't form my opinion solely on what they talk and what they say to the media. I mean, that pales in comparison, right? It's how they lead the team in situations that we don't see. But I think this is part of this explosion that is taking place. Combination of no more tolerating losing, but also, man, you got to get yourself some dogs. You got to get yourself some true leaders. We've seen it grow year after year with Trevor Lawrence, but you need other guys. I mean, I tell you who looks like he's going to be a really good leader on this football team as a rookie, now getting ready for his second year, is Jarian Jones. There's a leader. I mean, Trayvon Walker doesn't act and look like a leader. Devin Lloyd doesn't walk and act like a leader. Okay? Those are first-round picks. Just told you about Anton Harrison. Some guys don't want to be leaders. Jalen Ramsey did not want to be a leader. Some are born to be leaders. Every football team needs that. And I think that'll be a big part of building this thing up, beginning Monday in free agency and then continuing with what they do in the NFL draft, is to find great football players, but also hopefully bring in some leaders.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Football's real interesting because there's leaders everywhere in every phase of life, but I've never seen anything like it. You can be a rah-rah leader in college football, college basketball, and it still is relatable. In this league, the only way you can lead is if you can play.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I like your thought on Jarian Jones being one of the leaders. I mean, look what happened when Trevor Lawrence got cheap shot against Houston. He was one of the guys.
Awful. Yeah. Where was everyone?
Where was Doug Peterson? I mean, I get the sense just in a month of Liam Cohen that if that were to ever happen again,
I agree.
There would not be so nice of response by the Jaguars.
I agree. And, Sheriff did it and a couple of guys did it, but, I mean, there should have been 15-yard penalty after 15-yard penalty, ejection. You can't do that to your starting quarterback.
I thought of you earlier this afternoon when the Brad Marchand news came down. So I'm picking Forrest up from school, and Heidi hadn't seen the news yet, a New England girl. It happened 10 minutes after I got home. I went upstairs and said, hey, did you see that Bruins traded Marchand? I got a WTF, and it wasn't the letters. And my wife doesn't really talk like a sailor all that much, but she was shocked. And then we told my mother-in-law when she got off work, there were not tears. We're pretty close. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really hitting people in New England hard tonight.
It is. And, he had been there for, I think it's 18 years. Whew. He's 37. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I tell you what, if they put him on that line with Kachuk and Bennett with the Florida Panthers, I mean, just watch out, especially when they get to the playoffs. I went back and forth with Blaylock today, Jessica Blaylock, and told her I was heartbeat. This is where I've turned soft. This happened 20 years ago with Ray Bork. They traded him right before the deadline. He won a Stanley Cup in Colorado.
But he needed a cup. Marchand's already got his cups.
Right. But Boston hadn't won a cup since 72 until they won it in 2011. And I love Ray Bork, and I was so upset about this. I'm sad, but now I already find myself being like, am I going to be a silent Florida Panthers fan? I kind of like this. This isn't Roger Clemens going to the Yankees or Wade Boggs going to the Yankees. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm getting older.
Yeah, look, I mean, you obviously know a lot more about hockey than I do. My mother-in-law is a diehard Bruins fan. Again, she was close to tears about this, and my wife was furious with the Bruins. She hates the Bruins now for doing this. So New England's an interesting place tonight, I'm sure. When God, 18 years he was there.
Yeah,
they just trade him at the deadline.
Yeah, they did. And this is, by the way, this is what's wrong with sports, is everyone in the league hates Brad Marchand. Florida Panthers despise him. Now he's one of theirs.
Yeah.
You can go from hate to love or love to hate in a second.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
All about the uniform, man.
No doubt. All right, what's coming up?
Yeah, obviously we're going to get a lot into the hockey playoff. But no, I'm kidding. We're going to talk a lot about the Jaguars tonight, obviously, with free agency on Monday. The head coach, Dave Campo, will join me. Max Chadwick of PFF stops by as well. It's pretty much all Jaguars all the time for the first 90 minutes. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, Hack. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it, folks. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blast out there. And get ready for Monday. I mean, it is going to be incredible. I hope they make a lot of moves and begin to do the right things for this football team. It's going to be fun to sit back and witness. So I'll be with you at 6 o'clock on Monday. And what a week. Conference championships or, conference playoffs get underway with the conference championship games coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, of course, the Players' Championship along with NFL free agency. It's going to be one of the greatest weeks of the year. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. My name's Rick Ballou. I'll see you at 6 o'clock on